Meeting will now come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, honorable city council members, mayor, our city attorney, chief of staff, audience, and to those who are viewing tonight's broadcast via our YouTube Live. Welcome to the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting, and today's date is Monday, October 28, 2024. Members of the public wishing to participate in this meeting may do so under the public comment portion of the agenda. Please fill out a request to speak public comment card, which is located on the table in the back, and hand it to me before that portion of the agenda. And at this time, we'll have roll call. Councilwoman Abdo. Here. Councilman Barden.
Here.
Councilwoman Roscoe.
Here.
Councilwoman Talley.
Here.
Councilman Wadsworth.
Here.
Councilwoman Williams.
Here.
And Councilman Wilson.
Here.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair and Council, I have before you an amended agenda that I would like to request that you approve. And the amended agenda reads as follows. Number 1, agenda, 2 minutes, 3 petitioner, 4 chairperson's report, 5 mayor's report, 6 clerk's report, 7 treasurer's report, 8 public comment, 9 unfinished business, 10 new business, 11 warrant, 12 communication, and number 13 is adjournment. And this amended agenda, we are adding 6A under the clerk's report. We're adding an item under there. So at this time, I ask if council would entertain a motion to approve the amended regular council meeting agenda as presented.
So moved to amend this regular council meeting agenda as presented.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by, what is that? Ms. Abdo.
Roscoe.
Supported by Ms. Abdo for amendment to the agenda. Ms. Talley.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Amendment is approved.
Thank you, City Council. Number 2, minutes. We have 5 sets of minutes that we're going to ask you to approve this evening. So the first set of minutes is 2A. We're asking for approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held on Monday, October the 14th, 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to move that we approve the minutes from the regular council meeting that was held on Monday, October the 14th at 7:30.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for approval of the minutes from our regular meeting held on Monday, October the 14th at 7:30. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. 2B, request approval of the minutes from the special meeting closed session held on Monday, October the 14th, 2024 at 5:45 p.m. to discuss pending litigation.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to move that we approve the minutes from a special meeting that was held in closed session on Monday, October the 14th at 5:45 p.m. to discuss pending litigation.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of minutes from our special meeting closed session on Monday, October 14th at 5:45 p.m. to discuss pending litigation. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. 2C, request approval of the minutes from the special meeting study session held on Monday, October 14th, 2024 at 6:15 p.m. And this was for the purpose of discussing the quarterly investment report.
Mr. Mr. Chairman, again, I'm gonna move that we approve the minutes from a special meeting that was held on Monday, October the 14th at 6:15 p.m. for the purpose of the quarterly investment report.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of minutes from a special meeting held study session on Monday, October the 14th at 6:15 for the purpose of discussing the quarterly investment report. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. 2D, request approval of the minutes from the public hearing, Special Assessment District on Monday, October 14th, 2024, at 7:00 p.m. And this was for the discussion and to hear any objections to the proposed improvements in that special assessment district.
Mr. Chairman, again, I'm gonna move that we approve the minutes from the public hearing, Special Assessment District on Monday, October the 14th at 7 p.m. It was for the discussion to hear any objections to this proposed improvement.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of minutes from the public hearing, Special Assessment District on Monday, October 14th at 7 p.m. for discussion and to hear any objections to the proposed improvements. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
And lastly, agenda item 2E, and request approval of the minutes from the special meeting closed session that was held on Thursday, October 17th, 2024, at 5:00 p.m. for the purpose to discuss attorney opinion.
Through the chair,
Yes, Ms. Talley?
I'd like to make that motion for the approval of the minutes from the special meeting closed session held on Thursday, October 17th, 2024, at 5 p.m. for the purpose to discuss attorney opinion.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for approval of minutes from a special meeting closed session held on Thursday, October 17th, 5 p.m., for the purpose of discuss attorney opinion. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Abstain.
Ms. Williams?
Abstain.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Takes us to agenda item number 3, petitioners, and we have no petitioners on the agenda this evening. Number 4 is the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Tonight, we had no special meeting, therefore, the chair is going to recognize Councilwoman Talley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just want to make a couple of resolutions. First, I want to a resolution for Pastor Charles Tulliver of the Living by Faith Ministries. He celebrated 11 years of pastoral service, and I would like to get some support for that.
Support.
The motion by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Williams for resolution. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And the last one, I'm not sure, let me ask before I make this motion, but our Commissioner Al Haydes is retiring, and I know Councilman Wilson talked about the honoring they did for him in Van Buren, but I don't know if we formally did a resolution for him. So have we done that? Do anybody know?
No.
So can we get that done for Commissioner Haydes? For all his work he did in District 11 for the Wayne County Commission.
I'll
Support.
that.
Now.
Motion by Ms. Talley, supported by Mr. Wilson. Resolution. Al Hayes. Ms. Talley.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
That chair, that motion is approved. Thank you. Thank you. That concludes the chairperson's report.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to accept your report.
I second that motion.
Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval for the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved. Thank you.
Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Thank you. Good evening, City Council, Madam Clerk, and those in the audience here today, and also those in the audience at home. A couple items before I get into my action item tonight. First, I'd like to draw your attention to the monitor, where we have Ms. Vanessa Tolliver from the Mayor's Office with some community announcements.
Hello, I'm Vanessa Tolliver, and here are some events happening in Romulus. Citizens Changing Communities and the Romulus Civic League are hosting a trunk or treat on Thursday, October 31st at 5:30, located at the corner of Beverly and Chamberlain Street. Come join us as we trot through downtown Romulus on Friday, November 22nd, from Artisan Reserve to Walters Bar for the 7th annual Gobble Wobble Turkey Trot. Check-in starts at 5 o'clock and trotting will begin at 5:30 p.m. There's plenty of parking available at Walters Bar with a shuttle service from there to Artesian Reserve. Holiday turkey attire is encouraged and proceeds benefit the Romulus Goodfellas. If you have a relative or a loved one who's a veteran of the United States Armed Forces and is currently buried in the Romulus Memorial Cemetery, we need your help in making sure that they are registered with the clerk's office so that their grave will be properly honored at the Veterans Wreath Across America ceremony on December 14th. Please contact the city clerk's office at 734-942-7540. Details on how to sponsor a wreath can be found on our website. The deadline to purchase a wreath is Wednesday, November 27th. Thanks, everyone. Remember to like and share us on Facebook and YouTube, or visit our website for more information. And remember, city offices will be closed on November 11th in observance of Veterans Day. Have yourself a great night, and get out and vote.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Thank you, Vanessa. Great job as always.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I got a couple texts. Some residents say they don't see it or showing of the council meeting. Is that possible? They tune in, they say they're not getting the council. They're not getting the council. They had last week either.
Or the sound.
Or sound, and they're not getting a picture.
Comcast, the Comcast.
We're discovering there's some isolated issues with Comcast. If you hear anything, you have to contact us.
Okay.
Connect them directly with Comcast to get that resolved.
Okay.
For those who don't have visual right now and can't hear what Mike just said, anybody that's experiencing any difficulty with Comcast right now, there are some glitches with the changeover. They should contact City Hall as soon as possible, give us their information, and we'll make sure we get it addressed.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. The next item I have, I wanted to share a video from a company called Airspace Link. That's who the city's contracted with to walk us through this drone process. We all know about the exciting changes that's coming through drones right now in the industry. It's kind of like southeastern Michigan has stepped back 100 years in time when they're developing the Model A and the assembly line at Ford. The technology is changing so fast, so we want to make sure that Romulus was embracing this technology for obvious benefits with public safety, municipal services, increasing our service model. So we ventured down that road with Airspace Link to make sure that if we're going to have drone flight, we're going to do it safe, we're going to do it secure, and we're going to make sure it's regulated. So they're really defining the highway in the sky. So we wanted to share this promotional video that Airspace Link did. They travel all over the world. They're doing work in Dubai right now and all over America. But there's a few cities that are moving as far at a quicker pace than most, and they wanted to do a highlight just to show where we were at. So I want to share this video with you from Airspace Link. Romulus is a transportation location. We are planes, trains, and automobiles. We are 20 minutes from Detroit, 2 major railways, and also Detroit Metropolitan Airport, one of the biggest airports in the country. We're a good mix of rural, country living, as well as heavy industrial and advanced manufacturing. Why not lead the way in drones? Airspace Link has been incredible to partner with in the city of Romulus. Kevin Cross, our Director of Economic Development, brought this to me. I was blown away by how far they were ahead of the competition and how we can use this as a benefit in our community.
Being that mecca of transportation, we have the international airport hosted in the middle of our city and takes up 9 square miles of our city. All of those opportunities for supply chain and development of emerging technology for delivery of that logistics hub is really what makes Romulus unique and gives us the strategic advantage over other locations.
Since the city of Romulus is in such complex airspace, they had 0 flight height for the entire city. And they wanted to open it up, one for themselves or both.
Nope, we're having a glitch here.
I don't know what the rest of
This is a Wi-Fi connection? Bear with us for just a moment, please. Mike's working on it. These and the ones at home.
Complex airspace, they had 0 flight height for the entire city. And they wanted to open it up, one for themselves or both.
Well, and in the meantime, I can paraphrase a little bit what Helander is reporting out on. It talks about how Romulus was 0 flight capability 8 months ago until we started working on this and working with the airport. Oh, are we on?
Let's see.
This manufacturer, could you think about maybe moving my high-value cargo to its next destination? Perspective. The missing piece was low-altitude airspace. If you're an advanced manufacturer, could you think about maybe moving my high-value cargo to its next destination via drone? It's been great working with the FAA and the city and the state of Michigan to understand that, yes, we can do it. We can open up the airspace next to the 18th busiest airport in North America and utilize that new mobility.
We took the holistic approach of drone implementation in the city of Romulus. We didn't want to do it just siloed into one specific department or another. We're seeing in a lot of other cities. We have our first cohort together. They're learning about the airspace. They're learning how to authorize flight within the airspace. And they're all going through the training together.
I believe that drones would assist us greatly with saving lives. If we're able to get a drone up in the sky and get eyes on the situation at hand, it could also potentially save an officer's life. It could potentially save another civilian. I am using the Air Portal app. It's very user-friendly. I've had no issues receiving confirmation of allowing me to fly to other parts of the city.
Timing for us is everything, and I feel like the drone will give us even faster information, and being able to deploy a drone ahead of us, we'll be able to see what's going on before we even get there, and that's something that's invaluable.
So the partnership with Airspace Link, the implementation of that first service model and opening up the airspace, whether it's Part 107 license or a recreational user, they can go to our website for the city of Romulus and get authorization to fly. And the last part for us moving forward was making sure that we had antennas in place and we were able to track real-time drone flights within the city, authorized or unauthorized. And we were able to take that data and we were going to be able to use that to leverage it for economic growth and future projects within the city of Romulus.
We met with the city of Romulus about 8 months ago. Since then, they've gone from being not drone ready to level 3, where they have drone training, they have multiple drones in multiple departments. They put in sensors to understand where drones are flying within their community. About 20,000 residents can now fly a drone recreationally. And Part 107 pilots can now fly without having to do further coordination, really making it much easier to fly within that community, all within 8 months.
From a community integration perspective, residents can log into Airspace Link through the Romulus platform and really understand how and why drones are flying in the community. And I think using that authoritative data so residents can understand this use case will help innovation move faster here in the city of Romulus, create more jobs, and drive more capital investment.
The one thing I'd like to have other people in my position think about with Airspace Link is how to be a leader in technology. And it gives me a greater level of comfort to know we're partnering with a company like Airspace Link to help us through this process as we learn this process.
So I know sometimes emerging technology can be a little bit scary to some people. We want to start sharing that communication with people. We talk about the obvious benefits with police and fire, having to have eyes on a scene. Think of the advantage our police officers will have if they're called to an issue that they can defuse by knowing what's going on before they get there. Fire department, DPW, they, looking for main breaks. Last year we had boil water alerts out there because we couldn't find a main break, because we had our guys walking through the woods looking for ponding water. Well, if we dispatch a drone through DPW, planning, economic development. Think about Romulus Auto. Instead of dispatching a 2-ton truck to deliver a 5-pound part, now you send a drone. Now you took that car off the road, you reduce your carbon footprint. So this is definitely a way to go. And what I like about this the most, it's fun to see Romulus out front right now in southeastern Michigan. You have communities like Canton and Livonia who are typically leading the way on this, looking up to us going, wait a minute, what did Romulus do here to get out in front? So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about our frontline staff, how they've embraced it with PD, fire, DPW. So, like we always say, if you're not at the table, you're going to be on the menu. We want to make sure we're ahead of this legislatively, and also making sure it's going to be done properly and safe by working with the airspace links to have rules. So if somebody puts a drone up in our city, we know who they are and how they're flying it. So just wanted to share that with you, and there'll be more information in upcoming months. So want to do that. Also in front of council, you'll see we did a couple different reports for you on issues that came up at the council meeting last week. There's details on the water issue we have, just conflicting information about policies for payments, and we do have some things in place, so I wanted to share that information with you as well. Also, there was a resident who talked about possible lead contamination in their water in Niagara. We hurried up and sent DPW out there to investigate and found it was a negative test for lead in their service line, but they met with the resident to talk to them. And also, there's a report here on the branding issue that came up, and that I want to yield the floor to Councilman Martina Taylor right now.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, for allowing me to speak on your report. So at the last council meeting, there was, for me, a concerning vote that was taken, and so I want to read this memo into record that the administration provided regarding the background on the branding thing. So, in 2014, Romulus City Council approved the bid award for the City of Romulus to undergo a vision process. A committee comprised of residents, business owners, elected officials, and city administrators participated in the nearly 8-month process, which included multiple public input opportunities, resulting in the final document, which was presented to City Council on January 5th, 2015. One of the key action items identified and implemented as part of this the action of the committee during completion of the vision plan presented to City Council January 5th, 2015 was rebranding, which included the Home of Opportunity branding in lieu of the Gateway to Michigan established in the 1980s. In 2022, Romulus City Council approved the bid award for the City of Romulus to complete an updated visioning plan. Once again, a committee comprised of residents, business owners, elected officials, and city administrators participated in the process, which included multiple public input opportunities, resulting in the final document, which was presented to City Council on January 23rd, 2023. During the 2022 visioning process, the Home of Opportunity branding was found by the committee made up of residents, business owners, elected officials, and city administrators. And through feedback from our stakeholders to remain reflective of the community, it was determined that it should remain the city branding, the Home of Opportunity. Not only is the Home of Opportunity branding a direct result of the input of the community through 2 visioning plans and action of City Council, since its inception in 2015, it has been permanently affixed to city buildings, approximately 18 entryway signs, monuments, city supplies, including business cards, and city staff have spent personal funds to purchase clothing with the Home of Opportunity logo for work. While it's unclear as to the intent of the City Council to take action on a non-agenda item during the October 14, 2024 meeting to revert to the Gateway to the World branding, I respectfully request City Council to rescind the motion. So my concern, that was one, so I wanted to read that to make sure, because when we talked, when it came up last meeting, my concern is this. First of all, some of us were surprised by the action. Secondly, one of the things that Eva Webb did when she was on this council was that she held the administration to surprising the council. even if it's on the agenda, she did not want to vote on anything. Even if it was on the agenda, she did not want to vote on it until we had time, a week or so, to kind of mull it over. And I think council should be given that same, we should be held to that same standard. If we're going to hold the administration to a standard of not being voting on something the same day that's on the agenda, vote on something that's on the agenda on the same night that it's presented, I think the council should be held to that same standard. And then, so on that note, two things I would like to propose. First of all, that no action is taken until council has had a study session regarding this matter, and then request that the mayor schedule a study session on this matter.
John?
I would like to say,
Ms. Williams, then Mr. Wadsworth.
first of all, we have voted on many things without having it brought before us, a study session. A committee, I've been on the council since 2017. I haven't voted on changing the city slogan to City of Opportunity. It speaks of, this document speaks of committees and residents, but it doesn't speak of the council as a whole. When the city became a city, it was that logo or that slogan was codified. So the only one that can change it is the city council. As I said before, sometimes we take advantage and put too much on the mayor, whether it was this one, the one before that, or the one before that. You're asking, Councilwoman Talley is asking to go back and have a study session. The only way this motion that was voted on and approved can be rescinded is that the maker of the motion pull it back. So it's already been voted on. Sometimes we do things that we may not like, we may not understand, but at the same time, if it's already been approved, we move forward. We don't go back and try to undo something. It's a lot of things that have happened in this city that we should have undone, but we didn't. We didn't. And this city was known, when I came here, gateway to the world. The video that the mayor just showed us, it's actually identifying the airport, the freeways, the railroads. That's what gateway to the world represented. It's not personal. When we make decisions, it shouldn't be personal decisions. It should be what's best for the city. Gateway to the world draws more attention than City of Opportunity. And as I said before, we were elected as the legislative body. We make the rules. The mayor is the executive branch. He is enforcing them. And I'm not saying the mayor's not doing his job, but to come up with this document and then read it like it makes a difference, it doesn't. It doesn't, not at all. Because the motion was made, it was voted on, it was approved, and we should move forward. Thank you, John.
And through the chair, real quick, before you let Mr. Walter, I stand by what I said, just
That's
for the
fine.
record. I'm just saying, to the public, I'm standing by what I said.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Thank you, John. I'm the reason that I voted against this last week, because I was here in 2014, and I remember the meetings and the ordinary citizens that came here and gave their opinion of what they wanted. And I remembered that we approved a budget to have new signs and logo, and I'm not in favor of changing anything. In fact, I'll have to ask the clerk, can I move to have this rescinded even though I was on the negative side?
It has to be the maker of the motion,
Pardon me, I'm talking to the clerk.
and I am too.
Well, I was talking. Can I rescind this motion even though I voted against it?
My understanding, Councilman Wadsworth, it has to be the maker of the motion, and if the city attorney can, to rescind that motion, it would have to be the maker of the motion.
No, I think at a subsequent meeting, it's anybody who voted in favor of the motion.
Yeah, in favor.
You didn't vote in favor of Mr. Wadsworth, so you couldn't
I can't,
rescind it.
okay.
It'd be one of the persons.
Because I would move
It
to
has to be a person who
rescind it.
voted for
Because-
it.
Because the residents spoke, even though it was 8 or 9 years ago, this is what they told us they wanted. and this is what we gave them. And for just, arbitrarily say, well, now we're gonna change it, I don't think that's right. Thank you.
And the reason I drafted the memo too, given the timelines of the day, was to make sure all the council members had all the facts. I heard the word arbitrary bounced around at the last council meeting, and it wasn't arbitrary, it was intentful. The city went on this journey by a vote of council and participated with residents to hear from residents and hired a contractor to go through this process. The direction they received from those residents said that they wanted to see a change. The home of opportunity was what they decided on through a long process with multiple meetings on that. The Gateway to the World was never adopted by council. That didn't come around until the 80s. So that was something they brought in with marketing. The Home of Opportunity was decided by work from residents for several meetings and approved by 2 council resolutions. So the issue my office has now is that's significant capital improvement dollars. We have concrete signs, we have metal signs all over, and I have 3 different council resolutions. I have 2 for Home of Opportunity, and now I have 1 for Gateway to the World. So that's why I wanted a clear study session or something where you guys could talk about these facts and find out what there is before we spend thousands and thousands of dollars to erase what's been done at the request of the residents and approved by city council in 14 and 22. So it was obvious that everybody didn't have all the facts. I just wanted to share the facts, let everybody know what's going on, and move forward. So.
You know, Mayor, I seen where it's been so much money just spent sometime on things that it shouldn't even be spent on. And so to say that it's gonna cost so much money to change it, you know, the signs and whatever. You still have some signs that's still blue, the original color. The signs was changed to burgundy and white, the school colors. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, when I asked that question, I looked, I didn't see nowhere where the council, where it was a motion made. I understand what Mr. Wadsworth is saying, where a motion was made to change the slogan of the city, to spend money to do it, but it wasn't a motion made to actually change it. To, you talking about people from the committee that was created. That has nothing to do with the council. The council is the only one that can change names, and I've said this to you before, Mayor. The council, being the legislative body, is the only one that can change names of a building, a street, or anything else. So no resident or committee can do that. And so I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying I did it because I've heard people from the community myself. And I talked to many people across this city, and they said, what happened to the original name? What we have to stop doing things because we don't agree or because, you know, somebody's telling you something, because it's about the people. It's not about us. And the people put us here, I'm just saying, the people put us here to do what's right. And so
I agree. And
so,
a lot of people called me that put time into those committees and they were upset about it.
That's a
And
committee,
the reason they
though,
wanted
man.
to see a change because when it became the Home of Opportunity is because we had layoffs, we had furlough days, we had parks closed, the city was depressed, they wanted a new start. And I'm just relaying the message that came to me, so they sat and they spent their time on these committees and they put these ideas before council, which council did approve after the visiting process on two different times.
So what I'm saying, Mayor, is you're saying you got calls. We all get calls, I'm sure. So I went based on the calls that I get, the people that was communicating with me. So I just expressed, and this, I've been here 7 years, going on 8 years, and they've been saying it. But, to just keep hearing it. Gateway to the World, I don't see what the problem is to go back to what it was. What's the big issue? And to say, let's have a study session, and we've already voted. It's already been approved. I've never, since I've been here, I've never seen action being taken, and all of a sudden now we want to go back and we want to rescind it because somebody said this or said that. It's been done.
Well, I don't think everybody had all the facts. That's why I wanted to bring the facts.
And I appreciate it.
These
I
are the
appreciate
facts
it,
of
but
the
when I
matter.
asked and I looked and I did research, I didn't see absolutely nowhere in the records where it was voted on by council, and that's what I said when I made that motion.
Well, this highlights 2 dates where council did approve it, so.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Just a quick statement. You know, I kind of put this in the same boat as the Veterans Monument over there. The city put something there, and it was supposed to be there, and it got tore down, but I ain't gonna talk anymore about that. But we as a council back then accepted what the vision process did, and we accepted, and we told the mayor and the administration to move on with it, because we had, everything that was bought had to be approved by us, and we did approve it. That's it.
Steve?
You want to make
Mr. Chairman, just to back up, I know you've had a lot of discussion, but you also had a motion on the floor by Mrs. Talley that I'm not sure that it got a second, but you never asked for a second either. You just, everybody just jumped right into discussing it. She had a motion to have a study session.
Oh,
Did you want to speak first
I
on
guess
that?
it is a motion.
Did you want to speak on that, Ms. Roscoe, or something?
Well, I had asked for a study session the last, when
I
that
did
first
too.
happened last time. And I agree with Bill, because when the vision process was going on, it wasn't a small group of people. These were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that were involved in those meetings. I mean, we held it over at the rack most of the time, because there was so many people there. And so it wasn't like the council just did this. It was directed from the visiting process that they went through, and it wasn't like 2 meetings or 3 meetings. It went on for months and months and months and months. So I agree with Bill, and I thought out of respect for the request last time, we should have had a study session, at least to discuss it and then move forward and then vote on it. And I think anybody that has issues with something, if they ask for a study session, we should respect that request. But that's just my opinion.
Bill?
I believe that we paid that company, it was $85,000 to come in here. Maybe it was more. I don't have the exact figure, but we paid a lot of money for that company, that professional company to come in here. And like Mrs. Roscoe said, we had the meetings at the rack, and the place was packed, and everybody gave their input. And when it was said and done, this is what we came up with. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Abdo, and then Mr. Wilson.
All right, one of the reasons that I voted for, I'm sorry, I'm looking at this, for the resolution was home of opportunity, and this is the feedback I got from people. They said all they've seen since this home of opportunity are warehouses and gas stations. And they said, I just don't think that this they like the other one better. And so I went with Gateway to the World.
Mr. Wilson?
Yeah, just quickly, I think we are really arguing something that is mute. At the end of the day, parliamentary procedure was enacted at the council meeting, whereas we discussed this resolution. Now, if you look at parliamentary procedure, Robert Rules of Order, just for my notes here, a motion to rescind may only be made to rescind a main motion. That is a motion to adopt an ordinance, resolution, which is what we did, order or other legislative act of the body. Unlike a motion to reconsider, which I didn't hear here this evening, a motion to rescind will not bring a matter back for further consideration or debate if adopted. So I think what I'm reading here is that, and with all due respect, Councilwoman wants to rescind the motion, but at the time it was made, it was voted by the majority that that resolution would be upheld. So now, at the end of the day, again, to underscore all of that, it's about law, it's about legislative procedure, it's about parliamentary procedure, it's about Robert's Rules of Order, it's about what governs us as a legislative body. Whether you agree or disagree, that was the opportunity that we had to make a determination. And at that meeting, good, bad, or indifferent, the legislative body voted to support renaming the city back to its original, which was a not home of opportunity, I'm sorry, a gateway to the world. So I do understand the discussion here, and it's obviously very important, but again, I think it's mute as far as I'm concerned.
Through the chair.
I could be wrong.
Ms. Talley?
Through the chair. And so it may be a moot point. Thank you for that, Councilman Wilson.
Sure.
But just for the record, I just want to know, I read the memo, and it was by a committee of residents, business owners, elected officials, and city administrators. So even though we may be held by this because of the vote, I want to note it for the record, what I read into record from the people, a committee comprised of residents, business owners, elected officials, and city administrations for this name, Home of Opportunity. And that's all I have to say on the matter.
Any other discussion? Okay, no other discussion. Mayor, you got a
So there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second for that motion, or
What is the
did it die on the floor?
For the study session?
For the study session.
I would support a study session.
So you had a motion, and the motion was seconded for the study session.
motion by who? Ms. Roscoe?
No.
Ms. Talley?
Ms. Talley.
And supported by
Me.
Ms. Roscoe for the study session. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
No.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
No.
Ms. Williams?
No.
So it's up to me, right? So what I'm going to do, since the memo been read about the residents, I'm going to vote yes for a study session. As the chair of the study session, I wanted to make sure this council air their stuff out, and then at the study session.
Let me say this.
Wait a minute, let me finish. So, there will be a study session. And I concur. Motion approved.
Thank you. Again, my intent is just to make sure that council has all the facts before they take action, and I knew there was some
This is the thing.
confusion.
What,
The motion still stands. I mean, what was approved still stands. So even though we have a study session, that's why I don't understand a study session for something that's already been approved.
Well, what if somebody makes the motion that says they want to go back to the home of opportunity?
Well, I mean, if, y'all, see, go ahead. Y'all do what y'all want to do, but like I said, I've never seen this happen before on something. This is not about, you're saying some people told you, go ahead,
And that's really, it's not,
go ahead.
my intent
Let's move on.
so we're the ones that have to take action, and I don't think that council knew how much action would be taken, and how much it would cost us fiscally to change all these things that we've done that was approved by the people and our city council. So I wanted to make sure that council knew all the facts. I'll get the data that says, hey, if we want to change all these signs out on the perimeter, this is what's gonna cost us. If we want to change these concrete signs that we have on the gateways, this is what's gonna cost you. Then council can make a decision. You can leave it the way it is, or we can go back. I just want to make sure that you guys have all the facts.
And I want to say this, for real, because this is like, it's double standards. Because do the residents, do these same people know that this council, not me, I wasn't there, voted to pay for the court employees' insurance? Do the residents even know that we're responsible? This council is responsible for the taxpayers. We talking about spending money. Let's do what's right. We do things and it's not told to the council, but told to the public, but you want to make a big deal about this. As far as I'm concerned, I voted to let's go back to gateway to the world, and that's what we should do.
Okay. Mayor, you can do your report, please.
Action item I have on my council tonight is for environmental consulting services. They are, as needed basis, they are a local contractor the city uses for environmental issues, asbestos abatements before we do a demolition or any kind of hazardous material. So I concur with the recommendation of Jeff Kemp Jr., Building Department Director, and Christina Parker, Purchasing Director, and respectfully request City Council award bid ITB 24-25-03 to the lowest, most responsible bidder, Environmental Testing and Consulting Incorporated, and to enter into a 2-year contract agreement on an as-needed basis for residential and commercial environmental testing services. Gary Harris, Assistant Finance Director, has verified that the funds have been budgeted for and are available.
Mr. Chair,
Ms. Roscoe?
I will make that motion to concur with the administration and award bid ITB 24/25-03 to the lowest, most responsive and responsible bidder, Environmental Testing and Consulting Incorporated, and enter into a 2-year contract agreement on an as-needed basis for residential and commercial environmental testing services.
I second that motion.
It's motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for ITB 24/25-03 environmental consulting fee services as needed basis. Discussion?
Yeah, so through the chair, Mayor, so we're spending $183,000 and 250, 500. So it's including residents. So what residents are included in this other than commercial?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
What residences are included in this item, the money that we're getting ready to vote on? It says it's including residents and commercial, so is it certain residents? Is it identified
It's
residents?
for residential use and commercial use. So if we're going to tear down a residential structure, we use environmental testing to come in there and make sure there's no lead-based paint or asbestos on there, and the same for commercial. So it's not residence, it's a residential use, so for homes or for commercial uses on demolition.
Well, it said residential, so that's why I was wondering, was it including certain areas? You know, because certain areas are older, so they probably have lead paint or, you know, in the home, certain areas. So I wasn't for sure if it was actual residential homes, because it's
It's a
not clear.
requirement through the state, through NESHAP, whenever we do a demolition of a structure, because of where those materials and debris go from demolition, they have to be tested and made safe before they can go to a landfill.
Yeah, and see, that wasn't in here to be clear, so that's why I'm asking.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion is approved.
Thank you. That will conclude my report for this evening.
Thank you.
Number 6 is the clerk's report, and this is the amended item that we added to the agenda. And this is a request to amend the Resolution 24-302, establishing a special assessment district to reconstruct Brant and Cypress Roads. At the October 14, 2024 regular council meeting, council established a special assessment district for the reconstruction of Brant and Cypress Roads between Beverly and Ecorse Roads. A clerical error was made in the original memo to council that didn't take into account the consolidation of two of the parcels number 80007, 02, 0008, 0000, and 80007, 02, 0007, 300. Now combined under, those two parcels are now combined under parcel number 0800702, 0007, 300, and the inclusion of another parcel, which is parcel number 8000701, 0990301. And it's listed here in the memo. So the attached numbered aerial map, property owners and parcel numbers was included in the October 14th, 2024 council packet. So those parcels were included in your packet. The correct parcel numbers within the proposed district was not included in the memo. So we want to make sure that the memo that we list the correct parcel numbers. It just involved 3 parcels. Again, 2 of those parcels were combined. It should be highlighted on your memo there. And then one of the parcels, that number 26, was left off. So we're asking council that you would amend Resolution 24-302 for the above listed and corrected parcel numbers establishing a special assessment district for the purpose of reconstructing, again, Brant and Cypress Roads between Beverly and Ecorse Roads, and to let for bids for the construction of such improvement. Again, we apologize. It was just discovered today. The assessor brought it to our attention. So that's why it's before you again tonight.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms. Roscoe.
I'll make that motion for the request to amend Resolution number 24-302, establishing a special assessment district to reconstruct Grant Road and Cypress Road. And also I'll read that, for the above listed and corrected parcel numbers, establishing a special assessment district, the purpose of reconstructing Grant Road and Cypress Road between Beverly Road and Ecorse Road, and let for bids for the construction of such improvement, as explained by the clerk.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, to request to amend Resolution 24-302, establish a special assessment district to reconstruct Grant Road and Cypress Road, as read by the clerk and Councilwoman Roscoe. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
And again, thank you, council. Before I close my report, just want to give a shout out to the Romulus residents. You know, we have early voting, and there's a lot going on. And as of today, we have had 4,327 voters here in Romulus. Very excited. That's 24% of our active registered voters, which active registered voters are at 17,681 voters. I hope my math is right here. Currently, with our absentee ballots, we have a 69.8% return. So as of today, we've issued 5,173 absentee ballots. And currently, as of today, tonight, before we came in, we double checked, and so we have 3,611 absentee ballots that have been returned. And so for our early voting sites, you know, it's taken a while for it to catch on, but we've been really, really busy, which is a very good thing. And our residents are taking advantage of our early voting site, not just here in Romulus, but all, you know, just throughout the state of Michigan. Our numbers are really low compared to like Van Buren, Canton, you know, Taylor. But as of today, you know, the last 3 days, we have 716 residents and have taken part of our early voting, have voted. Great. So the first day was 200, on Saturday was 277 voters. Day 2 was 157. And today we had 282 voters. So kudos to the election inspectors. That, I mean, they're working really hard and handling, you know, and greeting all of our residents. So just want to say kudos to the Romulus residents. Looking forward to seeing more, you know, come out. You know, we have 5 more days or 6 more days of early voting. So please, please, please beat the rush. You know, if you don't want to be bombarded with campaigners and you know, the long lines on election day, beat that rush and take advantage of our early voting sites. So again, thank you, Romulus residents, and we hope to see more of you come out these next couple of days. I want to just thank, you know, Councilwoman Talley paid a visit to the site. Mayor McCrate came out today and brought some sweets to the, some goodies to the inspectors. And they were really excited about that. So thank you, and I know many of you are volunteering to work. So we want to thank you for your support. Just some additional reminders here. Clerk's office will be open until 5 p.m. this Friday, November 1st. This is to issue absentee ballots. And it is the last day that if you're requesting an absentee ballot be mailed to you. So that's the very last day that we could actually put it in the mail to mail it to you if you want us to send your absentee ballot. Also, the clerk's office will be open Saturday, November the 2nd from 8 to 4 o'clock. And again, voters that still want an absentee ballot can come to the clerk's office and still be issued an absentee ballot. The early voting hours, Monday through Friday, weekdays are from 9 to 5 p.m. and on the weekends it's from 8 to 4. So a lot of people are getting that little mixed up there. So 9 to 5 throughout the week and 8 to 4 on the weekends. And then the very last day, if a person wants to receive an absentee ballot in person, they'd have to come to the clerk's office, will be Monday, November the 4th. So any questions, please call. I want to add to, a lot of residents have been receiving, I'm sure you have too, just a lot of text messages, a lot of calls. And they can be confusing, annoying, and we've had several of our, especially our seniors, residents come in because they're receiving calls, they're receiving text messages, and it's very, very frustrating, and they call us, they're saying, hey, you need to turn in your absentee ballot, or you need to secure a signature, and so they're like, but I did turn in my absentee ballot. So we're doing the best that we can to address the residents when they call. Just call us, and, if you, when in doubt, and a lot of those text messages, just delete them. I probably get in trouble for saying that, but it's okay. But they are very annoying and they are very confusing. Yes. If you know that you have returned your absentee ballot, then just disregard it, and if a voter, let's say there's an issue with their signature, we're calling those voters. We're actually personally calling. Jessica is on the phone and we're calling voters that maybe there's something with the absentee ballot. So again, there's nothing I can do about all the text messages and the calls from the other organizations, but as your city clerk, call our office if you have questions and concerns concerning your absentee ballot. And with that, that concludes my report. Again, great job, Romulus residents.
Thank you. Mr. Wadsworth?
I have one question for the clerk. Our ballot box outside, is that the only one that we have in the city?
No, sir. We actually have two drive-up boxes. We have one located at the senior, in front of the senior center, and then we have this one out here, and of course, we have one in the clerk's office. I do want to
Is that thing emptied every day?
3 times a day.
Okay.
So our ballot boxes are emptied 3 times a day. The boxes, there were security cameras, so there's surveillance cameras on all of our ballot boxes there. I know you probably heard just recently in the state of Oregon, they were setting their drop boxes on fire. So the state of Oregon has an all mail-in, they don't go to precincts, it's it's all mail-in ballots there. So, but we're fortunate here in Michigan because by law we are required to have surveillance cameras. I can proudly say we haven't had any issues, any tampering with our ballot boxes. And again, they're checked on a regular basis. And I, again, kudos to Romulus residents. I think we care about our community. We care what happens. And so I think we don't want to be on 6 o'clock news or anything. I think everybody's doing their part. And so that's why I say I got a lot of confidence in our residents here in Romulus. We care. We want to, have a good turnout, and so that everybody will have the opportunity to cast cast their vote, whoever they're voting for. We want to know that everybody will feel that they were able to cast their ballot and that their vote counted. Thank you. There's no
Thank
more
you.
questions.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. That concludes clerk's report. There is no treasurer's report this evening. It takes us to public comment, and this is the portion of our agenda that is set aside for those who are visiting with us this evening, the audience, to address city council. The rules can be found on the back of the agenda. And if you have not turned in a request to speak card, raise your hand, and then the chairperson will call on you. First, we will call those who did turn in cards. And Mr. Chair, I do have 2 cards that were turned in.
Okay.
And the first person, I believe, is Lisa Denny.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First off, I want to thank you for supporting the Romulus Flyers. They are in the playoffs.
Wow.
First game is this week, Saturday. It's at Gabriel Richard, and I'm inviting Romulus residents, Romulus Council, come out and cheer on boys and girls. They've worked so hard. All 3 teams are on the playoffs.
Wow.
And I also like to say that Romulus Eagles also made the playoffs too.
Right.
So it would be lovely to have everyone in the residence of Romulus cheer on all 4 teams and bring home the championship to Romulus. So I am asking everyone out there, come and share and enjoy the games. And we support our boys and girls that have worked very hard for this year. And again, first game is at Gabriel Richard Saturday.
What time?
11 a.m. is first, is freshmen. JV is at 2, and then of course, our varsity is at the last of the games. So I am inviting everyone, please come out, support our teams, the Flyers and the Eagles. I don't have the Eagles, fortunately, their schedule. I will be looking into that, because I just found out before I got here that the Eagles made playoffs. Thank you very much.
Where's the game at again? I'm sorry.
Romulus Flyers is going to be at Gabriel Richard, which is in Riverview.
Okay.
And they are hosting the playoffs. I'm not sure who's hosting the championship, but with Romulus, we're going to go all the way.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
They'll be playing there. No, the boys, freshmen, are playing Dearborn. The JV is playing Huron Yellow Jackets, and varsity is playing Melvindale. Thank you, Mayor. He's onto it. He's onto it because he comes out one of our biggest supporters.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Great. All right, our next written request is from Ms. Margie Mahone.
I am sorry to fill out the comment section.
You gotta speak in the mic.
Yeah, actually, there's a few things that concern me. One, in my backyard are so many illegal immigrants. I carry my gun in my backyard. I do not lock my house because I have a very well-trained dog. But I have 15 or more illegal immigrants slowly tearing apart the apartments behind me. And I have told the landlord, who has yelled at me to yell at my mayor, not my job, told her to do it herself, to please tell them not to walk through my yard. My dog will treat them as a chew toy if they do. They're tearing apart a 100-year brick wall, little by little. I have been gone lately a lot this summer, and every time I come back, the wall is down more. There'd be 10, 15 people in a 1-bedroom apartment. I know I've come to the police, I've come to the city. We've tried ICE. It's happening, of course, across our country. But for me, I have not spent one day on my back porch this year because I feel unprotected, unsafe, and gawked at by all these men, half naked, just sitting on the walls and doing what they want. It's not comfortable for me. So I know this has been a big situation throughout our country, but my concern, I just wanted to let know. My second, as a retired semi-truck driver, E-Course Wayne Road, beautiful, God bless you all, is awesome. However though, we do have Prime, we have Kroger and all of them right there at Wayne Road in E-Course. I have drove through many small cities, large cities, through every state in this country, except for Hawaii, because I can't drive there. They have a thing where the turn lane, and you do have cameras there, where that first arrow, you have two arrows for your turning lane, that first arrow should be one huge white line. Therefore, the semis have plenty of room to turn, especially when they are flatbedders or car haulers. When people are up that far, it makes it very difficult. This way, it would make it very easy for our police department, our fire department, or anybody who's watching that camera. If that car is on that white line or in front of that white line, it is the car's fault. If that car stays behind that white line, which would be a very huge white line, then that would be the semi's fault. There's a lot of accidents that happen over there that I have stopped to try to assist people until, ambulance or our police departments have arrived. My husband works over for KLM with the distribution center for Kroger. So like I said, many times I've seen accidents. I would love to see you move those turning lanes, just a turning lane. Cover that first arrow, make it a big white line. You got cameras everywhere. What we did, like I said, with E-Course is beautiful. A lot of our intersections need to be in a turning lane. When I'm sitting in there, I'm staying back. You ain't taking me out. Nope. I've been through semis and, I've seen so many things across the roads over the years. So it's just a suggestion, but it's just things that I've seen and experienced. And we know how many accidents happen over there all the time. So just a consideration, please, to think about, to help save more lives or for people from getting injured. And then it also would help the police department to look at that camera and say, well, the car was on there, so that would be the car's fault. Or if the car was back and that semi-truck hit him, it's the semi-driver's fault. And pretty plain and simple, but, we are doing really well in Romulus. I am very impressed with a lot of the roads, E-Course Wayne Road area for semis, because we are becoming a city of opportunity. We are growing. We are going to continue to change. It's not the same when I was a child. Romulus didn't even have a police department when I was a kid. We had Wayne County Sheriffs. So times change, and times are going to continue to change. And no matter what happens during this election, which way it goes, we need God in our life.
Yes.
We need peace. We need to help each other.
Yes.
People need to come together.
Right.
And it's the people. I don't want to hear anything more of civil wars or Congress. No. People are people, and we need to be caring, giving, God-fearing people to make this country great again.
Yeah.
Not one person will make this country great again. It takes the communities. And I love this community. My family has been here for probably over 100 years. Very well known. Yes, I'm one of those little loudest kids that married a man. But I love the city. And I just want to see it grow and grow and grow into more opportunity. I'm very impressed with all of you. And thank you for stopping, giving each other respect, the time to let each other talk, whether you agree, whether you disagree. Thank you for showing respect. It's hard sometimes for me. People just shut down and let the other person finish. So God bless you all. thank you. You're doing an awesome job. Just a few tips on, from a former truck driver, to help protect more people and to help protect truck drivers, because we do have a lot of new people out there that are young and inexperienced, I'm sorry.
Yes.
That's the safest way I can say for that intersection alone. Yeah.
Ms.
So,
Reed?
thank you all very much. God bless you. Love
Okay.
you all.
Yeah,
I
one,
would just
Pray
like
for
to
y'all.
say
One thing.
to the mayor, I'm not for sure if the resident is the one that's been complaining for a while now. And the police have been notified, the building department been notified, the DPW of those individuals that's just hanging around, and sometimes even past destroying her property, because I've heard it.
It's not really mine, but it's backing up to me.
Well, it's around you.
Yeah, they're tearing
But
it down
even
and walking through.
knocking on people's doors. Miss Sharon Walker complained about it. They're walking through the neighborhoods down there in the south end, knocking on people's doors, asking them for money. And so we do need the police department to be more aware of that, and just, if nothing else, inform them that they can't do that here. Because as long as no one is saying anything, matters is just gonna get worse.
Yeah. And are they able to vote? I don't know.
No.
With the concerns I'm hearing through the country, it's just, I'm wondering, we have not been hit as hard as a lot of cities. Thank God for that. I praise God for that.
They're not registered.
But, yeah, and
Okay.
and I feel for the people as well too, because who, welcome to here, and then, oh, by the way, after you're done, bye, you're done, get out. And we're
Okay.
left with them.
All right, thank you, Ms.
All right.
I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it, thank you.
You're welcome.
That was the last written request.
Any other comments from the audience? If there are no other comments from the audience, Madam Clerk, guess what? Close that part out.
Sorry, I forgot to announce the 3-minute rule.
That's right. I'll give it
About a half an hour late.
Was that a 3 hours?
My bad. Sorry. It's okay. We're good. All right.
This is supposed to be a
All right, City Council, number 9 is unfinished business. Number 10 is new business. Number 11 for approval is warrant 2422.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion, we pay warrant 2420 in the following amounts. General Fund, $132,907.71. Major Street Fund, $59,056.71. Local Street Fund, $57,379.99. Public Safety Fund, $41,517.26. Cable TV, $1,730.77. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $17,157.69. Street Lighting Fund, $56,344.78. Garbage and Rubbish Collection Fund, $1,185.83. Oakwood SAD, $89.62. Tax Increment Finance Authority, $460,785.78. Downtown Development Authority, $131,705.38. Michigan Indigent Defense Fund, $13,215. 911 Service Fund, $4,288.52. Law Enforcement Federal, $156,012. Library Fund, $38,937.64. Water and Sewer Fund, $46,642.16. Motor Vehicle, $37,796.67. Technology Fund, $6,527.11. Retiree Insurance Benefits, $14,033.11. Revolving Fund, $20,300. Current Tax, $580,361.15. Impressed Payroll Fund, $28,957.37. Delinquent Personal Property Fund, $2,228.08. totaling all funds $1,909,160.33.
I second that motion.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley, to pay warrant number 24-20 for $1,909,160.33. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, and the motion is approved.
Thank you, City Council. Number 12 is communication.
And through the chair.
Yes,
You might have go.
You want to go first?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I just wanted to bring it to your attention that the Rotary has a food box outside the city library. This box is open to all who need the food. To give you an example of how often it is used, it was filled this morning and it's empty now. So there's obviously people in need in Romulus who need this. If you wish to donate items, which we definitely need, please make sure that the items are non-perishable. And you can put them in any time of day, after you go grocery shopping, anytime, just stick in a few items and it'll help. And thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Talley?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Barton. Just a couple of quick items of note. First, I just want to, as our clerk said, I went by the early voting, and it was just magnificent. I just want to thank you for the work y'all do over there. It was buzzing, and it was early in the morning when I was over there. So much activity, so many people walking through. I'm like, what the heck? It was so many people. It was so encouraging to see people come out voting. However you vote, they was out there voting. So I just want to thank everybody. Like she said, kudos to the Romulus residents. They were out there taking advantage of the early voting. And as the clerk already said, there's several opportunities to do so. It's really no excuse not to do so. So thank you for the great job our clerk's office doing. I saw some of the workers, seasoned workers that's always out there. Miss Joyce Jones, Miss Jean Tillman, Miss Lisa Edwards, and I think you introduced me to two Kathys that was there out there, and then what was the young man that was out there kind of managed the chair guy? Dale Moore. It was just, they was just working it. It was running like a well-oiled machine, and our clerk in the clerk's office does a great job. So thank you, Madam Clerk, for what you do with our voting. And yeah, well, what you got, Clerk of the Year, what was that, a couple years ago?
Several years ago.
Well, not that long ago, but now we see why. Thank you for all that you do. I want to shout out to Colleen Dumas for the great job she did with the daddy-daughter dance, Girls in Pearls and Guys in Ties. What a great event. I mean, they just the girls just awesome with their daddies, and just a great time, dancing, fun out there, daddies and daughters. So thank you, Colleen, for the work you do, and the Rec Commission that works alongside with Colleen to put on these great events. So thank you for that. I want to say shout out to Councilman Wilson for your retirement. I hope you enjoyed this time, but you're about to get into some more deeper work, so congratulations for your retirement. And then lastly, I just wanted to save this for last, and we've heard about it. Jasmine Dancy received the Shining Light Award. It was a huge event. I was able to attend along with the mayor and Julie. Went down to support. It was at Ford Field, Mr. Barton?
Yes.
And then just to show you how big this thing was, some of the people that was on the program that she shared the stage with. They had Nicole Avery Nichols, the editor of the Detroit Free Press, David Heckard, who's the co-chair of the Metropolitan Affairs Coalition, Dave Bing, the former Detroit mayor and founder of the Bing Youth Institute. The presentation of the 2024 Shining Lights Award was Carol Kane, columnist and Detroit Free Press senior producer and host, Michigan Matters, CBS Detroit, and Rup Raj, evening news anchor, Fox 2 Detroit, who actually was in Romulus a few years for a B2B, was a business-to-business event, and he was also they were presenters for the Shining Light Awards. And Jasmine Dancy, who was also our Pumpkin Fest princess, received the Dave Being Young Leader Award, and it was just phenomenal. So she did a great job. Kudos, Jasmine, to the work you did of the nomination and just securing that award. She shared the stage with Hugh Perkins, who was also there, who received the Neil Shine Award for exemplary regional leadership. So great job, Jasmine. Great job for the work you do. Being one of our own, it was just so proud to be out there seeing one of our own up there sharing the stage with so many people for this outstanding award. So congratulations. And that's all I got. Thank you, Mr. Barton.
Thank you. Ms. Williams?
Yes, I would just like to say, tomorrow, Forgotten Harvest from 10 to 12, even though we know individuals are there at 7:30 lined up and waiting. And then the following Tuesday, which is November the 5th, Election Day, we will not be there, but we will be back there on November the 12th? 12th. Thanks to all those that have patience and that come, two of the individuals that just left, they're a great residents. They're always there and trying to help whatever they can. But I also would like to say, and he's not expecting it, Mayor, we challenge you. You can't bring them big candy bars this time and show everybody off. The mayor was the only one at the trunk or treat with big candy bars. Everybody was like, I'm going down there with that man. I said, that's the mayor. So we watching you this time with them big candy bars, you know, showing everybody
Yeah,
off.
be ready, they're coming again.
But thank you anyway. Thank you, John.
Through the chair.
Oh, no, one more thing.
Oh,
Sorry.
go
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's good.
I would be wrong if I didn't do it. I know real soon, we're gonna be losing, or he'll just be moving to a different seat where he can help us in a better way. I would like this council, if you can understand that we don't need no study session, to support me in giving Mr. Wilson a congratulation, a honor to sit here the months that he's gonna be here, but a resolution for the time that he will be serving here. Even though he's retiring, or he retired from Ford Motor Company, he's actually retiring from city council. So if someone can support acknowledging and recognizing Mr. Wilson with a resolution.
It's been motioned by Ms. Williams, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for a resolution for Mr. Wilson. Any discussion?
Yeah, through the chair.
Yes.
So
Mrs. Talley?
I don't need a study session because I understand this. So yes, I do support that.
Okay. Okay. Roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
I did say Ms. Talley, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
And let me see if I want to say, oh, yeah, yes.
It passes anyway.
Thank you.
Motion approved, Mr. Wilson. I
Thank
want to say something right quick, Mr. Wilson, before you jump in. Mr. Wilson, we'll you'll be leaving here, council meeting, council chambers, going to county commissioner. I noticed that since he's been on council and in the neighborhood, he jumps on projects right away. I
Yeah.
noticed that. And a lot of people are giving him a lot of praise for his getting right to the business and helping people. And I
Yes.
think he'll do a good job as commissioner. And I'm glad that he's from Romulus.
Yes.
That's gonna help Romulus move forward. So we got a connection with,
Yes.
with the county commissioner now, because we have our own. So congratulations, and we're gonna miss you, and I'm sure you do a good job, Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you all very much. Through the chair, under communication, please. We all have before us a memorandum from the mayor. Talks about an issue that came up last council meeting with the drain issue over on Niagara Street. And I must say that I had an opportunity to talk to Al Hayes last week. We met in his office. He went over quite a few items of discussion with me, or should I say items of contention is what we discussed in the various communities, the hot spots. This one was very near and dear to me because it was referred to me at the last meeting. So from that referral, I've had a chance to talk to the resident on Niagara Street on several occasions through emails and phone conversations. And I'm happy to report that I had a chance to talk to the drain supervisor on several occasions. And I'm meeting her out at this resident's home on Friday morning at 9 a.m. with the engineers to make sure that I oversee this issue being corrected once and for all. Because even our county commissioner indicated to me when I talked to him last week, this has been an ongoing issue, and he felt very bad about the fact that the resident has been trying to get this resolved a number of, actually been a couple of years, I suppose. But to your credit, Mayor, she also alluded to the fact that you did send someone out there and test the water, make sure there was no lead in the water. She felt very happy about that. And she also indicated to me that she's getting a lot of attention now, and she really appreciates that. And she even got a little bit more attention because I happened to go and fill my tank up the other day over at the Marathon gas station. Didn't go down the sheets because they went up on their gas a little bit, so I stopped by the Marathon over on Wayne Road, and which has matching prices, by the way. They got smart. And I saw the animal control truck filling itself up with the two of the drivers. I guess it was, I forget his name. Very nice young man. Stepped out of my vehicle. I gave him my card, and I told him what my issue was. They had some traps, I guess, in the back of their vehicle, and they knew the resident on Niagara very, very well because they had been there a few times. And we had a good discussion, and they followed up and proceeded to her home because she gave me a call that night, and I guess they must have mentioned that we had a conversation. So, again, kudos to our department, our animal control, Mr. Roberto Scapitici, for getting involved and getting engaged and making a resident feel like her voice is being heard. And just to close, just even looking at these reports that you send out every time a resident has a concern, Mayor McCray, especially when they come here and they engage in public comment, your office and your staff seems to jump right on it. And you and I, we don't agree on everything, but I do have to say that it's very impressive to have our mayor and his staff attack the problems that the citizens bring before us as expeditiously as practicable. So again, I say all that to say this, the council here, obviously I'm winding down. It's just a joy working with the council, great people, great leaders, great citizens. They care about the citizens here in Romulus, and I couldn't be prouder to work with them. And more importantly, it's the decorum that has been displayed lately. I mean, the name calling, the backstabbing, the cutthroat, the politics, all that type of razzmatazz has no place here. And I understand that in the political arena, as the resident out here indicated, there's a lot of stuff going on across this country. And it's a lot of vitriol, if you will, that's being exchanged between the candidates, and that turns a lot of people off. But for our city council here, for our 25,000 residents, they're very fortunate to have you all. And I want to say again, I want to reemphasize, reiterate, and just say how grateful I am to have this opportunity to work with you all. And I know you're going to continue to do great things for this city moving forward. So again, healthy exchange of ideas, even contentious exchange of ideas. That's what democracy is all about. Don't mean we have to go out here and despise each other and hate each other and fight with each other. This is what we do when we create a democratic process. We can't be rubber stamps. The people didn't put us here to be rubber stamps. They put us here to utilize our best judgment to work together and try and get their issues resolved. So again, thank you all very much for your time, and it's an honor to serve with you all. Thank you.
I would like to say the next time we come to the council chambers, there probably will be another president. We will have elected a president.
That's right.
Next time we come here,
That's right.
we will have a president.
That's true. We don't have
And we just hope that, everybody voice their concerns at the ballot box and come out and, it's your duty to vote. And also, I'd like to mention that the Detroit Lions are 6-1.
Deleted.
And they the best record since 1956.
Wow, I wasn't even born in.
Mayor, you know what, I didn't get a chance to send it to you, 'cause I've been busy, but, with that water issue, the turnoff, maybe we can consider going back to where if the water bill is not paid at a certain time, put it on their taxes. That's something that we used to do.
They're gonna look into a lot of options, and that's a terrible day for staff. They hate that day. So we're trying to make sure that some things are cooked in, that they can have remedies, and that they have the authority to make those appropriations for people where they can. So yeah, they're gonna come up with a couple ideas, and we'll bring that before council. And
Right, and that's what I was saying, you know, I was looking at, you know, some of the things, even when, I don't know why they changed it, you know, the city changed it, the council changed it, paying it every 3 months to every 2 months. And actually, you wasn't there then, and actually, that's actually more money that the city gets because you get that surcharge 4 times a year instead of 3 times a year. And then that kind of puts people in a bind, you know, when they are used to paying it every 3 months, so they got a little bit more time versus the water bill is due every 2 months. But putting it on the tax bill at a certain time, if it's not paid, and then now, you know, even though it may take the city a while to get the money through the taxes, but still, if people are not getting their water shut off because of, so that's something we can look at too. I'll put that in writing, but I wanted to bring that up because that's something that the city used to do and then it changed.
yeah,
Thank you.
it's a tough one. We can find a resolution and always sharpen that pencil and find a way to get there. Through the chair, just real
Yes,
quick on
Mayor.
communication. Our Eagles, Ms. Denny talked about it, about the Flyers, and I don't know if she really drove that point home. All 3 teams are in the championship in their league, so freshman, JV, and varsity. They're playing all different cities, so we're the only city that put all 3 of our teams in that championship round, so I'm proud of our guys for that. And the high school team, they had a little bit of adversity this year, and they overcome it. And we talk about, you know, the makeup of a person is how you know, return after that fall or after you have an issue, you face adversity. So for them to make the playoffs is a big win. And I'll be playing Friday night at the University of Detroit Mercy, so cheer on our Eagles, but if we talk about our athletic programs and how they're doing real well, we gotta talk about academics as well too. And I received an email from Dr. Brett Edmondson, superintendent, and it said that all 3 grades, 10, 11, and 12, test scores have come up. So they're working on enrollment, the test scores coming up. I was able to attend the ribbon cutting tonight for the new media center over junior high. State-of-the-art, beautiful program. I got to hear 3 of the kids speak, and wow, did they blow my hair back. They were just so good, and they were so passionate about the media center, the opportunities they have, and how proud they were to be from our junior high. And if you've been around our junior high 4 or 5 years ago, you know it had problems. So definitely in the right direction. We got to support those kids and make sure, because we only go as far as the communities, our schools go, right? And our youth and our future, so we got to support them. So hats off to our kids who are doing great athletically, but also our academics and these kids that were there for that media center. I was very proud of today and proud of the passion the faculty has to raise that level of expectations for Romulus schools. So give them a shout out.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right.
Is there any more communication from council? If not, number 13 is adjournment, and the time is 9:08 p.m.
So moved.
Sport.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Williams for a adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.